You stop it.
Gary, it was a proper cup tie. You had to bang on the door pretty hard to get through.
Well, yes, I think you're probably right there. I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeping performance like that in all my life. You know, he made 8, 9, 10 unbelievable saves. I'm talking about proper saves that you would expect would have gone in now. That doesn't mean to say I'm disrespecting them and saying we should have won 10-0, but at the end of the day, when you see the highlights, and hopefully you fellas will put the highlights on all your machines and that and show them, you'll see how many opportunities that goalkeeper stopped. It was unbelievable, and we got to give him massive credit because he kept his team in it. And of course, in the last 5 minutes, they're going to throw men forward. It's a little bit airy, scary, but fortunately, Dylan didn't have to make too many saves. He made the one in the first half, quite comfortable. But I thought we played well, and we was like 3 goals short of it being a very good performance.
So were you happy, just in a sense, more with the clean sheet than anything else?
Well, no, I'm happy with winning the game. For me, Dylan's always happy with a clean sheet. I don't care if we win 5-4. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, we got to win. We had to get through to the next round, and that's what we've done in what was a tricky tie. But the lads played some good football. As I say, we were 2 or 3 goals short of it being a very, very good performance for us.
In the first 35 minutes, at times, it was attack against defence, and it might almost have been a training drill.
Yeah, that's right. And when you set up those drills in training, it's very hard to break down a team that's got a lot of men behind the ball. You've got to make sure that you're sharp. We knew that we had to come out in the second half and put a bit of running in just to make sure we got a little bit more, a few more openings, because we got in, and when we did get in, the goalie made the save, so we had to keep getting in. We knew they would probably tie and the gaps would be a little bit bigger, and I did ask the boys in the dressing room at half time, I said, one of you lot needs to go out and go and win us the game. And right, he did. And he must have hopefully he had that in his mind, because he was very determined to get on the end of that both times.
Well, 3rd goal of the tie, in fact, for him.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it's a good job. Good job he's doing what he's doing. You know, it was a great save again. I think the goalie pushed it onto the post, and he kept going and stuck the ball in, and that was handy. The handier one would have been a second one, and then we wouldn't have had a little bit of worry towards the end. But we did have quite enough chances even at the end to stick that other one in.
At times, in the top part of the pitch, and without Amari, who I'll come to in a minute, were you a little bit intricate with the ball?
I don't know. Did you ask Arsene Wenger that about Arsenal? You have to be intricate when there's numbers, you know, that are backed up. You have to be intricate. Otherwise, you end up just lumping it forward to their centre halves, and they end up heading it back. So, I thought at times our intricacy was quite good. It was quite good, but it's just got to have a bit more of an end product, and really that's when the intricacies look very good, when you've got that end product. Sometimes if you don't quite get through, or the keeper's making saves, sometimes it can look a little bit, not laboured, but it can look a bit like you've got a lot of the ball without really creating a problem. But don't tell me we didn't create a problem today for them. We did.
Oh no, for sure. But
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Just, you know, saying that to you, but I'm just saying that, you know, as a open to everybody.
And without Amari's physicality, you were having to ping the ball about a bit. So how is his ankle?
Yeah, no, his ankle's swollen, and unfortunately the goalkeeper came down on his ankle when it was stuck in the ground. So we'll have to assess him. We'll assess him tomorrow, but you know, I should think he'll be out for a couple of weeks.
So on that basis, in a sense, it might be useful that you've got Harry Williams back at the club, having recalled him from his loan at Farnborough. At least he's another forward option for you.
Yeah, we got forward options, and yes, he does give us another forward option.
Billy Waters today, in and around Danny, it's a different kind of combination, isn't it, with a big man, little man, as opposed to those...
Keegan Toshak, isn't it?
Yeah.
In our day.
In my day, perhaps, yeah.
But yeah, the little one that gets busy in and around people's feet, and obviously Righty, brilliant at holding the ball up for us. I think he's had a fantastic season so far, and he's doing great for somebody who's over 30 to play all the games he's playing. But he feels fit, he looks fit, and he's doing a great job for us. And Billy always needs that goal. Billy's always a different player when he scores a goal, but he certainly had a few opportunities today. No, it's a good little partnership. They'll be okay.
And now an interesting test at Grimsby on Friday night.
Great test. Looking forward to it. We just got a. You can see we rested a couple late on, so that was okay. 2 or 3, well 2 actually, because obviously Amari was struggling. But no, the boys have got 48 hours or so now to get their legs back, and they will. They're fit, they're strong, and they're determined to win up at Grimsby, but also determined to put on a performance for the cameras, and hopefully we'll get an end product to our intricacy.
Different sort of challenge, isn't it, against a side who will come out a lot more than Havant did tonight?
Yeah, I'm sure they will, and that opens the game up a little bit. They need to win the game. Really, they still wouldn't overtake us, but they'll certainly get a lot closer to us. If we can win the game, we'll put a little bit of distance between us, and the draw is probably better for us than it is for them.
It's a terrible question, but you've got that those 12,500 reasons to win the game tonight, which I asked you about at 7:15. You've got them. Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah, well, that's the chairman to decide of the figures and all that sort of thing. I'm just pleased that he's pleased, and if I need 12.5 grand to go and get somebody, then he'll have it, won't he? No problem.
Gary, Danny's now got 10 in 15 games and 10 before the end of October, which is a terrific effort.
Yeah, it's a great effort. You need a striker scoring goals. That's obviously you do, and it's more than Danny's more than a goal scorer. He brings other people into the game. He's got a lot of assists. Where he makes other goals for other people. He's just always there, both penalty boxes. He's a dream player to work with, and I've had a few good strikers under me in my time, and he's one of the good ones.
He obviously had his bit of health problem when he found out about the gluten thing, and do you think he's almost horrible phrase, but he's getting a bit of a second wind in his career?
Well, I hope so, because we'll all benefit from that, including him. But he's enjoying his football. He loves scoring goals. Obviously, if he feels a lot better in himself, in his body, he can train harder. And if he can train harder, then he's going to be fitter for all these games. And he probably wouldn't have dreamed of being able to have played 20 odd games in this, amount of short space of time. And also put the work rate that he puts in. It's unbelievable, his work rate. And he's done magnificent, and really, really proud of him.
Does that mean it's almost an easier thing for Billy to come in to play alongside Danny, because he's just got that?
Yeah, well, I've always said if you want to go to war, you have to go to war with somebody who's been there, so that that experience. And Billy needs that experience with him, and like Morgs and Wrighty, Billy Wright.
That's a hell of a signing.
We'll have Billy Wright, and then we'll have Billy Elliott when Elliott comes back. But no, right, they will now get a couple of games to be able to get a little bit of a relationship as well. So that's not a bad thing either.
Finally, the Hartlepool now to look forward to, and a chance to sort of gauge yourself against a League Two club again, which will be interesting.
That was the good thing. The draw was bittersweet, wasn't it? Bitter because of the travelling, but sweet because it's a game that they're the favourites, but we've got every chance, and that's good because we want to get through to that third round proper if we can, get through as many rounds as we can. So it's not the worst team to play against in the world. So we'll get over the travelling. It'll be a nice day where they can get their feet up on the coach, and not have to train on that Friday. We're just on that. What will go up on the
Friday?
Friday. So again, they'll have enough break, but I'm not looking that far yet. You know what I mean? I've got to look at the Grimsby game because that now becomes a very important game. And we've been saying this term about this game against Havant and the Grimsby game. They're 2 games coming at the end of a real hard period, but it will test our character and where we are, because they were 2 very important games to win, and we've got 1 left.
So, thank you, Gary.